Calling to order the meeting of the Energy Committee this morning. Thank you to members and thank you to those on the panel joining us. As you know, we've had kind of a busy week here on the committee. Senator Cantwell and I have logged a few hours standing up in the chamber there trying to move a Keystone bill through, and our hope is that we're on the final run of that. But I appreciate committee members coming a little bit earlier. We had initially noticed this for 10 o'clock, but in an effort to try to get through this important hearing and then attend to our business on the floor, we've bumped it up a half an hour. And so to our witnesses, thank you for your accommodation as well. We appreciate it. I want to recognize that Senator Heinrich as well as Senator Barrasso, who are the lead bipartisan sponsors of S33, the LNG Permitting Certainty Act, will have some remarks this morning. So I'm going to keep my comments brief this morning. I want to recognize them, congratulate them and their co-sponsors, Senator Capito here on the committee, Gardner and Hoeven, all members, as well as Senators Bennett, Udall, Toomey, Kane, and Heitkamp. Appreciate the work that all of you have done to get us here. I have long argued that exports of liquefied natural gas should be expedited from the United States to our friends and our allies overseas. I made the case in my Energy 2020 2 years ago and again in two more recent white papers, one called The Narrowing Window, America's Opportunity to Join the Global Gas Trade, as well as A Signal to the World, Renovating the Architecture of U.S. Energy Exports. Know from the outstart that I fully support the bill that we have in front of the committee. I think it's the culmination of years of legislative work here in the Congress. I can remember when Senator Dick Lugar, who introduced in December of 2012, laid out the concept that exports for NATO members should receive expedited treatment over at the DOE. And as proposals came forth, more and more countries were added to this prospective list: Ukraine, Japan, India, and eventually the entire World Trade Organization. Just yesterday, we voted on Senator Cruz's WTO amendment as part of the ongoing Keystone XL debate. Last year, legislative activity turned to the approval process over at DOE. We saw proposals to give the Department a time limit for authorizations, these licenses, with the clock starting at various points, after FERC final authorization, after pre-filing, and so forth. Many colleagues co-sponsoring this current legislation were involved in those efforts, as was our former colleague and member of the committee here, Senator Mark Udall. I think we would all recognize that this legislation in front of us, S33, is a compromise. Compromises, almost by their definition, are imperfect in certain ways, but I do think that it is the result of some very serious work by very serious people coming together to try to address an issue. And I thank my colleagues for all that they have done to come together on this. With that, I will turn to my ranking member for her comments.
Well, thank you,